Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today, let's talk about it. Today, we have a big day. Bitcoin still hanging in there in flux, but today is really about Solana because we have a lot of ETFs. Their applications are pending. So are we going to get that today? Is that the catalyst for today and the rest of this weekend? Let's talk about it. And then let's talk about some big new announcements for Clash. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Hopefully, it's going to be a very good Friday. The U.S. market is opening up in green. So that is good. And, the usual crypto players are in the green. Coinbase is up. MicroStrategy is up. HUD is up in a big way. Riot, AMD. I mean, so far, so good. Everything's up. Bitcoin is slightly up to about 122. We can certainly get back to the 124, 126 mark in no time. Just need a little push, a little catalyst, right? And we got plenty. We got plenty. All right. So moving forward, some bigger headline news. Trump's Fed chair candidates have been narrowed down. Okay, so they are quickly looking for a replacement for Powell. But if you think about it, it's coming up pretty fast. Time really flies. So we only got like 6 months until Powell is pretty much gone. Or maybe 7 months. I think he's gone in May. So yeah, they do need to find a replacement. And whoever they find is probably going to be very, very, very bullish on cutting. Just like Stephen Moran, who's still pushing for a 50 basis point cut when no other Fed governor is trying to do that. So we got that. China retaliates against U.S. port fees because U.S. started charging port fees. I don't know what the deal is, but both sides are charging each other's cargo ships port fees now. And then we do have a Naysayer that came out from UK. UK's biggest investment platform has come out and said Bitcoin is not an asset class. And this is after UK recently ruled that ETPs are okay. And then that investors could buy ETPs and, of course, buy Bitcoin and ETH and Sol and everything, right? But it's rare these days to see any firm come out and say Bitcoin's not an asset class. Like, no one says that. Not even Peter Schiff says that. So that's what's interesting about this. I guess we still have some naysayers out there, but not from Morgan Stanley, though. Morgan Stanley drops restrictions on wealth clients who can own crypto funds. So it's weird that some of these big banks, investment banks, have restrictions on their wealthy clients. Hey, they should just do what their wealthy clients want. If people are billionaires or millionaires are coming in and say, we want to buy Bitcoin ETFs, or we want to buy Bitcoin, or we want to buy ETH ETFs, you let them, right? Why would you put a restriction on who gets to buy what? It doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So that's good. Now, as for buying ETFs, yesterday slowed down quite a lot, but still very positive overall. Yesterday, we had about 198 million Bitcoin ETFs. Or inflow for the ETFs, I should say. Mostly, again, from BlackRock, 255 million. We had a little outflow from the others, but 255 million from BlackRock. This is what I've been saying. There's two things that you could look at, and this is how you could determine if Wall Street is selling or buying, or if the market makers are manipulating the markets. Yesterday with both well, at least from BlackRock, ETH had a little outflow, minus 8.7 million, but BlackRock bought almost 40 million. If you look at that and you look at how Coinbase stock was moving, it was green. We had inflows, right? So whatever happened yesterday was definitely not due to Wall Street dumping. And we have seen Wall Street dump before. We have seen very red days like this day. We had minus 1 billion outflow days before, or consecutive days. No, Wall Street is super positive. Look at the inflows from the last 2 weeks. We're talking about billions upon billions. That's like $4 or $5 billion of inflows, right? Even ETH, you had 2+ billion inflow. So all this, up and down, the sideways movement, some of the liquidity events that we have seen, that's all for the market makers right now, okay? And who are the market makers? Like Binance. All roads lead back to Binance, unfortunately, it seems like. So it's not Wall Street. We can't blame Wall Street. Wall Street's actually very bullish right now. They're actually buying. They're buying as much as possible, kind of like retail investors, right? It's the market makers that are moving things or slowing things down. But eventually, you know what? They're going to have to let things go. And that's when we get that huge leg up, because they can only hold us back for so long. The buying pressure is too big. Billions upon billions every single week. It's going to have effect for sure. Jack Dorsey wants a tax exemption on Bitcoin transactions. Well, we already have that. I'm surprised he doesn't know about the bill that Cynthia Loomis proposed, which is, hey, if you want to spend your Bitcoin on coffee or everyday goods, you shouldn't have to pay a tax on it, which makes sense because it becomes a nightmare if you're spending it on small transactions. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see where that bill goes. And then what else? Bitcoin is ice cold at record highs. Indicator signals room to run to 180,000, right? So, yeah. What does that mean, ice cold? Well, it's not ice cold in terms of price because we're still hovering at $120,000. But it does seem like the momentum did become ice cold, and we are not seeing that upwards movement, right? And we're seeing it for commodities. We're seeing it for gold and silver. So there's something going on, and it's not due to Wall Street not buying it. Again, there are forces at play, and I'll just call them market makers because I believe that's what they are. They make markets. They move markets. I think they're the ones that's holding us down right now. Nothing else really makes sense. We're near all-time high. We just broke all-time high. Enthusiasm should be at all-time high. Yet, if you look around the room, most people don't feel that way. Most people are drained by some of the manipulations that we have seen over the past year or so, right? But again, we can only be held back for so long. Now, what's interesting is there is this whale that came out of nowhere, okay? And maybe he's part of it. Maybe he is a market maker himself. Or, you know what? He decided that I'm going to just turn bearish for no reason. So you have a whale that owns $11 billion of Bitcoin, and he just placed nearly a $1 billion short on Bitcoin and ETH. See, this is the type of thing that holds us back, right? Again, who is this? Is it just a Binance wallet, maybe? No one knows who it is, but it could just be a Binance wallet. Maybe it's a Bybit wallet or a KuCoin wallet. No one knows. Maybe it's a CZ wallet. Like, why, if you were an $11 billion Bitcoin whale, what do you get out of shorting the market and in turn hurting your own net worth by a ton? Right? It makes no sense, no logical sense at all, unless this whale really isn't a whale and it's just working or is one of the big market makers. But the good thing is this person will get liquidated. If Bitcoin goes above 133,800, this person will be liquidated. We'll lose $1 billion, basically. I'm rounding up 900 million to a billion. So, I mean, it really makes no sense whatsoever. We're not even talking about a Bitcoin billionaire with 1 or 2 billion. Someone that has $11 billion of the Bitcoin doing this, there's something going on. There's something going, you gotta think about this rationally. Why would you try to hurt the market to hurt your own positions? It makes no sense, right? Unless you are part of the group that's trying to hold things back and trying to spread FUD and trying to cause market fear and staleness, right? That's how I interpret it. But again, they can only do it for so long. Institutions have bought nearly 1 million Bitcoin in total. That is a large amount, 7 times more than what the miners issued, right? And that's going to continue with the institutions, with the ETFs, and then you got the public trade companies like Strategy and others. The buying is not going to stop. These guys don't care. They're going to continue to buy because they know Bitcoin is the asset class, the newest asset class on the block, and it's the one that is the most rewarding. So all this suppression, this manipulation will go away because there's only so much supply. And if you have people believing in it and they continue to hold on DCA, that's all you need. That's all you need. That's why Bitcoin is where it is at, right? And we will be moving. We will. Just got to give it some time. We got to get past this. And a lot of the metrics also show that. None of the indicators that we look at that measures cycle top is flashing top. We're nowhere close to it. Nothing is showing that we're anywhere close to top, right? So the next 3 months will be quite interesting as we lead into December. It's going to be very, very interesting because we're following the same pattern as previous years and previous cycles, right? And this one from TechDev is looking at a business cycle. And even though this one has been prolonged, it's clear what happens after you get out of a business cycle, okay? Or at least the green part of the business cycle. And then you enter, you enter that euphoria stage, right? The huge leg up before we come back down. Yep, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And then, of course, I mentioned gold and other commodities like silver that's been skyrocketing. And traditionally speaking, the two are in tandem, although sometimes Bitcoin leads the way, and then gold leads the way, and then Bitcoin catches up. This also happened earlier this year. Look at what happened between March and May when Bitcoin was actually falling down from its previous high of 109, right? But gold was skyrocketing. And then gold staled out, and what happened? Bitcoin caught up in a big way and formed a new high, right? And right now, we're seeing that deviation. Not that Bitcoin is crashing, but we're kind of going sideways. But gold is skyrocketing. So the next phase, the next 3 months, could be Bitcoin catching up in a big way. And that will bring us to our next level and probably the cycle top, which could be at $200,000, right? I hate to compare it to gold because I really don't care for gold, and I think it's the past. I think the future is Bitcoin, and I think Bitcoin is better in every way. But there are still a lot of people that view gold as a necessity, right? As a store of value, flight to safety investment. It's almost like, you still have the people that believe that. But the newer generation does not care about gold. The newer generation only cares about Bitcoin. and alts, right? So it is the future. It definitely is the future. All right, what else? Well, outside of Bitcoin today, we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9. Okay. 9 Solana ETFs pending. And the final SEC deadline is today. You have a lot of others like Litecoin and XRP and Doge and Cardano, Polkadot, HBAR, and all that stuff, right? That's all going to be coming. I think the SEC is going to probably blanket approve like multiple of these, not just for Solana, because I think they're just really bullish. And they're just going to do it. And they're, you know, before they've said they don't want to give any one person an advantage over the other, but that's usually within just the funds. Like all 9 Solana will be approved, but I have a feeling they may be approving others as well at the same time. And if this happens, obviously it's going to be very good for Solana. JP Morgan expects 1.5 billion inflows during the first year, but if this came out during the right time, it's going to be a lot more than that. A lot more than that. So we'll see. We'll see if we get this news today or if it gets delayed. But if it comes out today, it's going to be fantastic. Not for Sol. I think it's going to be fantastic for the entire market. I think it's going to lift up the entire market. We'll see. Pudgy Penguins, which is like the biggest, newest kid on the block in terms of NFT collection and also crypto, like community. So now they became a staking provider in Solana, which is awesome. And then you also have Solana Treasury company Sharp Technology. They have like 500 million or billion. I don't think it's billion. It's like million. Of Sol to go tap Coinbase for their custody and liquidity solution, which is good. All right, that is pretty much it. Super proficiency. I don't know what kind of FUD. I don't know what kind of FUD you're trying to spread. Okay. Yeah, just stop. Just stop. All right. Now let's talk about some Clash. The market is still doing good. Everything is good except AMD, which is what I want because I want AMD to go down. But look at Coinbase. Coinbase is up 3%. So again, Wall Street is buying. Wall Street is saying like we need to load up on crypto related stocks and we need to load up on Bitcoin right now, which is why the Bitcoin ETF inflow is so good. But there's something else going on. There's something going on. Okay. All right. As for Clash, unfortunately we had this big whale dump just like an hour beforehand. Right, we had one whale that decided to cash out like $150,000 worth at one time. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was purposely trying to. You know what I've been saying about market makers trying to suppress, just like this whale trying to suppress. I feel like that's what's happening right now with Clash. I think like some of these guys are trying to do that. And I don't know why, but it does not matter because we're going to continue pushing and we'll continue growing. The number of holders, we added about another 140 since last night. The number of holders continues to grow and the community continues to grow. So we're going to see good things. And let me show you this. I showed this last night, but most of you guys didn't watch it. So, you know, like Sol-based memes or community projects overall haven't been doing all that well. And holders or the community is really what what matters, right? But we have so much more with Clash, and I'm going to announce something new today too. I actually did it yesterday. It was crazy successful. But if you just look at overall holders of like 3 of the biggest meme projects on Solana, you have Popcat, which earlier this year was super hot, was very hot because it was led by like Arthur Hayes. And then you have Bonk, which is the biggest one, right? But if you look at, I have this sorted, you see those graphs, those are holder counts. And this goes back to October. Okay, October 6th, which is about 4 days. Actually, if you like, you could go back even more, but it doesn't matter. Basically, what you're seeing is right now, because of the sort of market weakness or FUD, you have a lot of people just selling. A lot of people are leaving. And that's why you see the wallet count for all these memes. Every single one is going down. But of course, not for Clash, because we're new and the community is great. And that's thanks to most of you guys, right? So that's what's most important, that we continue to grow the community and we continue to expand. And then when the market conditions are right, that's when this project really takes off. Right? That's what it's about, building up the community. And today we have another huge tournament. So if you have nothing to do or you want to spectate, tonight we have another huge prize tournament. I don't know how many people will show up because people started spamming this form. So it's not accurate. We're not going to have 3,574 people. But last week we had the best ever, about 355. And I'm hoping we get close to that, if not even more this week, because I think word is spreading. Here's the thing. Last week, there were a lot of like top pros that started showing up because the prizes are so big that it's starting to spread to people that, hey, this is happening now. So we may even get a bigger turnout. Like there's legit pros, like top 10 players in the world of Clash Royale is now joining, and that's how crazy it is. But that's okay. If they bring attention, bring more players, it's free to play. But if they want to win prizes, there's rules, right? There's rules. And there's more rules I added in Discord. So in case you want to know what they are, you could do so. But like these are huge, huge prizes every single week. And we always have a good time. We always have a good time with it. All right, the last thing I'm going to announce, and this relates to both CRU and Clash, which is really good, is the Treasury wallet. Okay, so I made a decision because I'm putting all my efforts behind Clash. So, you know, with CryptosRUs, we have a lot of partnerships, collaborations, sponsorships, people that want, you know, to work with us. And we do it a lot. So going forward, basically, I'm going to ask all these partners to basically be part of Clash, right? To be supportive, to support the tournaments, and possibly contribute to our Treasury wallet. And this Treasury wallet is used to fund new initiatives, okay? Bigger tournaments, events, giveaways, collabs, whatever it may be. That's what the whole point of Treasury wallet is, to further expand this project. So on the CRU front, I'm going to be asking basically every partner or sponsor to be contributing and to help spread the word of this project. So that's number one. That's how it relates to CryptosRUs. And number two is something fun. You guys know that I've been giving out giveaways, right? But the giveaways are great for holders and for community members. But there's nothing that goes on during the lives. Like a lot of you guys are watching live. 3,000 of you guys, okay, is here. And, you know, I've been thinking about how to do giveaways during live streams. Because, you know, the giveaway form is so big now, 2,372. Not everyone tunes in all the time, and they may miss out, but they're still going to get rewarded. I'm still going to do it. But there's something new with this, which is, and I started this last night. So if you are a true believer in the project and you really do want to help contribute to the growth of this project, right, you can contribute to this live. And what's great about this is if you do contribute, then we could do giveaways based on the contributions during the live. Okay, so for example, we're starting at 547K with Clash, which is crazy. This is just from one session. But those of you guys that want to contribute right now, we could see what the total cumulative amount is. And then I'll be giving away some SOL to the top contributor and just one random contributor. And this will only works really for the live viewers, right? You could really participate if you wanted to during these lives. It doesn't really make sense to contribute when we're not live, but it still helps the ecosystem. So that is something new that I'm kicking off. And as time goes on, we're going to see this grow and grow and grow and use this in meaningful ways to grow the community. Oh, we have a new listing today too. We have a new listing on FeeMix as well. So that's good. So I don't have the wallet. I don't have the wallet QR code. I should actually put it up. I had it set up yesterday. But, you know, the wallet address is in the description. And tonight, of course, is the big tournament. So make sure you do. Let me see if it's in the description. I don't have it in the description. So I guess I should have prepared this better. I'm going to put it in the description right now. And I'll put it in the live. Here we go. I'm back. Okay, I'm going to pin that. And then I'm going to add in a description for people that can't tune in live. But it is fun. Last night we had a crazy time with it. And it is public, so anyone could see it. There's not going to be anything fishy going on. Everyone could verify exactly what's going on with it. Boom. All right. And then in the future, I'll have a QR code, so it's easier to do. So we'll see. We'll see. Yesterday we went crazy. It's a little bit more difficult, and I know market isn't as good today. So and by the way, also with this contribution address or the treasury address, a lot of people have been asking about putting more into LP. So yesterday, you know, I was thinking about it. So basically anyone that puts in SOL in here, that will immediately be paired with Clash, and then that'll go into the LP. So that's a great way to increase the liquidity pool. But the Clash sitting here, you know, that's not paired. It's just going to sit here and use for future purposes. But that's a great way as a community to increase the LP. If there is SOL that's contributed, that will be paired with Clash in here and put in the LP right away. And again, that's all verifiable. It's all on chain. You can't hide this. Sammy says on Mexi, Clash could be purchased via Alpha and Spot, but the one on Spot appears to not be yours. Price slightly different. It is the same. They have their own liquidity pool. That's why. I mean, they bought their own liquidity, so it moves based on that. And I don't know how they sync up with, like, you know, the DEX price. At some point in the day, they sync it up, but that's how they're working, which is a little bit different. They're like one of the top holders, although their liquidity is still very small. Number of holders still pales compared to these big guys. Okay, but what's more important is we are growing. We're growing every single day. And these tournaments, I believe, will attract more people. And that's going to be good over time. Oh. Why is Litecoin pumping? Probably due to the ETF enthusiasm, because theirs is already pending. So I think a lot of people think Sol and others will be approved at the same time. So that's the reason. Space mushroom fuzz. Okay. Grammar wizard. Okay. Thanks for that. Of all the things to talk about, you want to talk about that? Thoughts on growing the other games besides Clash Royale for a bigger gamer base? The biggest gamer base of them all is Clash Royale. It is by far the biggest game. Most played game, most players, or how do I say it? Most active players per month is Clash Royale. It's the one game all young people are playing, and now old people too. Those of you guys that's been waiting to buy the dip because you want to make the top 500 list for the Vegas party, I'd say it's a pretty good time. Again, we have these large whales that are taking profits. That's fine, right? I just wish they wouldn't do it so largely at a time, right? Like selling 600 plus SOL at a time is going to do some damage. But, you know, the good thing is the community is strong and everyone wants to take advantage and buy the dip. But I think this treasury idea is good because not only is it just for you guys and makes it more fun to have more giveaways and also contribute to the entire community at the same time. But I will force basically all my partners also to get involved so that we can grow it even bigger. Hold on, let me write this down. Yesterday this went crazy. We got one person that contributed 100 Clash today. We'll take that. Last night we had some gigantic whales contributing. One that contributed 200,000. That was the winner. And then there were a few that contributed 100,000, 110,000, 70,000, 10,000. So basically, it went crazy. So what I did was I came up with this new formula. So basically, anything above 25,000, I would give back 3 SOL, and between 10 to 25,000, it'll be like 2 SOL. Anything below 10,000, it'll be 1 SOL. And I basically divided up 2 ways. 1 to the biggest contributor, and then 1 to a random person that I think deserves it. And last night it was, it was the 200,000 one, and the person that donated first, the 2,000, they both won 1.5 SOL. So that's how we're gonna do it. Why did you get removed from the Clash Clan? Probably because you were stagnant. I had to remove a couple of people that didn't play for like 10 days or something. So I had to make room. A lot of like people are asking to join the clan, so Coinbase is up still, which is good. And it's going up a lot. So Wall Street's obviously liking something. They're loading up right now on Coinbase. Robinhood turned green yesterday. I talk about Robinhood a lot, so I love them. Nvidia is still green. AI yesterday was led by Nvidia. AMD is finally coming down. I'm waiting for AMD to come down more to load in. And then there's a new play, energy play called Constellation. I've been eyeing them. I might get into them as well. What's the ticker symbol for Clash? You already said it, Clash. Garrett, thoughts on Zcash recent rally? Is it a good buy? Not for me. There's interest in privacy coins because Vitalik recently just said that he wants to introduce privacy features inside Ethereum, and others have said it too. But from an investment standpoint, I don't like it because governments don't want privacy coins. They want to be able to track things on a blockchain. They don't want anonymous transactions. So I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on exchanges to delist them. And that's been happening in the past. And we may see more of that. So that's the reason why I stay away from them. Bullish billionaire. That's why you got to learn how to use a DEX, use a wallet. The easiest way is to go on Phantom Wallet, download Phantom Wallet, and then you could swap SOL for it. There's a built-in swap. It says swap, and all you have to do is swap it. But there are some exchanges like Femex listed today, and then we're on MEXC, WEX, LBank. The liquidity is low on them, so honestly, I recommend just doing it in Phantom, or you could go on Pump.Fun, or you could go on Jupiter. Any of these. Do I still DC on Wednesday? I haven't done it in a while, but I should. I think I've skipped out on like 3 weeks. Let me bring it up. And there's a new web page. I mean, you guys could check it all the time. It is on my website. Let me log in here. All right. So this is the DCA portfolio, and it's exactly the same on CryptosRUs, so you could see it anytime. Right? Up 114%, 115%, whatever, all time. That's good. I haven't added to it in a few weeks. So far, so good. BNB obviously has come up in a big way. So good for it. Sol leading the way. Sui still doing good. Cardano, AVAX, XRP kind of struggling, ETH kind of struggling, but though in the green. And then you got a lot of others that is kind of like struggling right now. Do I have Clash in the DCA account? I don't. But I probably should add some. I don't know if this app could actually find it. Let's see. Let's see if I add to it. They always change this, so it's really hard to see. See, now you can't get rid of. Before you could just change whatever coin you want. Now you cannot. I wish they would be a little more consistent in how they do this. It's not even showing right. The add button doesn't show up anymore. This kind of sucks. Because they're trying to make this a real wallet. And you can make it a real wallet, but I'm just using this as... I'm going to have to ask like my programmers if they could just add it directly to my page. So then just make it much easier. Then we don't have to use coin stats ever again. I don't even know how to add in here. Transactions, maybe I could add a transaction. There's no add button. I think it's cut off. That's why. I think on the side there's actually... I can't even add. Manage. Nope. Yeah, I can't figure it out, man. I'm going to add, since I missed 3 weeks, probably at least 2 or 3 weeks. If I can figure it out, I'm going to add some Clash in here. That's what I'm going to do. It makes the most sense. Rich, glad that you're a member for 35 months. That's awesome. Jazz Neil, are you more bullish on Sui or Sol? Sol. Although it's a tight race, but Sol has been my go-to for a while. How does the Clash giveaway link and the Sol address link to the Sol address to the Clash address? What? The giveaway link? This one? How does a Clash giveaway link the Sol address to the Clash address? What? I don't know what you're saying, but okay. Hopefully, besides the treasury idea, hopefully you guys are still adding to your wallets to the giveaway form, right? So random draws during my live streams, and the multiplier bonus, which I added recently. And I've been giving out a lot of multipliers because people that I've been selecting have a good amount in their wallet. The giveaway entry only asks us for a Sol address. Yeah, that's exactly the point. All you have to do is put in your wallet address that holds the minimum requirement, which is only 1,000 Clash. And the tournament again is tonight, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to participate, you can play for free. Okay? You can play for free. You don't have to have anything. You could just have some fun. Or if you want to compete, you can. And there's going to be a lot of giveaways tonight. So don't miss it. I wouldn't suggest missing it. It's going to be good fun, for sure. All right. We had someone contribute 3,000 Clash And then 2 people contribute 100 each. That's something. Thank you. So before the end of the stream, I'll check again. I think it's just easier if I had the QR code up next time. I just wasn't prepared this morning. But, you know, based on this, whatever that comes out to be, $130. So 2 of these people will win. We're coming up. We're coming up. How is gold, how is Bitcoin better than gold in every way? Well, what is it not better than? I mean, other than jewelry, right? Jewelry, people always want something gold on their wrist, which is fine. But as an investment, how is it not better? I mean, when it comes to investments, really, right? You want something that basically makes you the most money. Over the last 5 years, over the last 10 years, 15, 20 years, who made you the most money? Or which one did he make you the most money? Bitcoin or gold? It's just not comparable. There may be like short stints where gold does do better than Bitcoin, right? But if you look at long term, it's not even close. Casey, what are people contributing for? 2 things. 1, for the growth of the ecosystem. The treasury is going to be used to grow, right? To help the community grow with tournaments, with events, with collabs, with other initiatives that may come down the road, even acquisitions. There are like this holder site, for example, that I think is really, that could be good. But for the growth, and also, you know, to win some giveaways as well. But even though it's not really the main factor, but just want to throw that in there for people that want to have some fun and do it live, you know, with people. Yeah, gold has been manipulated for a long time, and it was manipulated by Wall Street as well for a long time. But recently, you know, just so much buying pressure because of debasement of the dollar, because of, I don't know, shenanigans that's going on around the world. People are just like really fed up and they want to opt out. A lot of people opted in gold. A lot of people have opted in Bitcoin. But going forward, there will be a lot more people opting in Bitcoin, for sure. The younger generation is all digital. No one is talking about like, oh, I want to go buy some gold as a young person. It's all digital, and crypto, blockchain, Web3, it's all part of the future. Casey, I'm the creator, and obviously I'm not donating live to it. That makes no sense, Casey. Coin is still green, although it's come back down a little bit. Nvidia has come back down a little bit. Giveaways. Someone's asking about giveaways. Let's do some. Let's do some. Make sure you fill out the form. If you haven't yet, the number of responses goes up every day. So I know there's a lot of people that still have not submitted. or there's new people coming into the ecosystem, which is good. I show like a preview of the new page for Clash, which has the built-in wheel and stuff last night. It's not completely done yet. It's just gonna make this process so much easier because this always takes forever. Let's do like 800. The first 800 addresses, I'll do 3 just to like kind of, where's the wheel? This page just cannot handle this many entries, this wheel. All right, I'll do 3 at 0.3 SOL each, unless there's the multiplier, and then, you know, obviously it goes up from there. So if we check, $34K, so that's a 1.5 multiplier. It meets the requirement for that, so it'll be like 0.45. I'll put it in here. And then we'll do a draw from 800 and beyond. Let's do like 1,500. Oops. Do we really believe, Sammy asks, if we're going to hit 200K by the end of this year? Yeah, there's always a possibility. Sure, there's a possibility that we don't hit it, but based on prior years, 2024, 2023, based on prior cycles, like the 2021, 2017 cycle, things get really crazy at the end, like right around now. This guy does not have any Clash, so he does not win. I'll go do another spin here. Remove. Let's do another spin. What about states buying? They have some bought. I haven't heard of any new states getting involved, but Bitcoin Treasury among states is also a hot thing. This guy holds 90K Clash. He almost qualified for the 2x multiplier. He got 1.5. So congrats. Got another winner. And then we'll select one more. One more from 1,500 all the way to all the new people. I got to get that wheel fixed. I'm going to get it fixed no matter what by the end of this weekend. And then we won't have to do this thing anymore. The giveaway form is in the description. The contribution address, the RSVP, they're all in the description. But the one place that you really want to be in if you don't understand how to access these links is in the Discord, because people will help you with it. The only thing is when you join the Discord, I hope that's still spinning. There'll be a lot of impersonators try to DM you. Just know when you join Discord, no one's going to DM you. I'm not going to DM you. No one's going to DM you. But just chat regularly, right? And then you'll see my real name and others answer questions and be really excited about the project. 60K Clash beats the multiplier requirement. So all 3 gets a 1.5x multiplier. So that means they win 0.45 SOL. So congrats. And again, this is ongoing forever. If you haven't put it in your wallet, you could do so. It's going to be forever. All right. And the last thing I'll look at is this, the contribution to the treasury. Ooh, we had some step in last minute here. A 5,000 donation or contribution, I should say, a 3,000 contribution. So we definitely went up a lot within the last 30 minutes. So we went up, we started at 547K Clash. Now we're up to 557K. So that's about 10K worth of Clash. So what's 10K? 10K is like $400? Yeah, $400. So I forgot what the tier was, but I'll just make it one SOL and divide it up to the top contributor, which I believe is this person right here. Thank you for that. And I'll select one more and I'll send it out after this. So the whole point of the treasury, like I said, I'm going to make it so that all of my future partners are going to be helping contribute and bring awareness to Clash. And also something that you guys can contribute to if you want to support the ecosystem, but obviously purely optional. All right. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see how else things go today. Are we going to get those ETF approvals? Are we not? Because the government shutdown, who knows? But today is the approval day. And if we get 9 approvals today, it's going to be very, very, very bullish for Sol and I think for the entire community. All right. All right, guys. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your Friday. I'll see you tonight. Okay. For the tournament. It's going to be on my I Am George channel, which is in the description. And also on Pump.Fun, which is also in the description. And I also post that X too. So that will be tonight. I'll start the stream up 1 hour beforehand. And then we'll have a good old time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.